Tape www.suividécole-au-sénégal.com.
À école au Sénégal, c'est facile, tu n'as qu'à te connecter. Tape école au Sénégal, les leçons sont beaucoup plus détaillées.
So, we're going to carry on our lesson on question tags. As I said to you before, question tags are questions we put at the end of a statement. We know it's true or we think it's true in order to check. So we expect the answer from the person we're talking to. Okay? You like it, don't you? You went to the cinema, didn't you? So when the statement is positive, we use a negative question tag, and when the statement is negative, we use a positive question tag. When there is an auxiliary, be or have, we use the auxiliary, the opposite of the auxiliary, and when there is no auxiliary, we use our magic auxiliary, which is do. If in the present tense, do or does, and if it's at the past tense, in the past tense, we use did or didn't. Okay? So, in that same idea, when the verb isn't in the main sentence, present or simple, we use the tags with do or does. Okay? So, when the verb in the main sentence is present, simple, 2, 3. When the verb in the main sentence is when the verb in the main sentence is present simple, is present simple. Okay, when the verb in the present tense is present simple, okay, we form the tag with virgules, comma, we form the tag with okay, we form the tag with do or does. Okay? Full stop. Now, for example, you play the guitar. Okay? You play the guitar. Here, we can't see any auxiliary. What do? Once again, we take our magic auxiliary, which is do. Because it's present tense. You play the guitar. The time will be, don't you? N'est-ce pas? Because I came to your house, I might have seen a guitar in the corner somewhere. There's 1 or 2 or 3 guitars. So I ask you, because I think or I know it's true, and I ask you, you play the guitar, don't you? I'm almost sure, je suis presque sûr, je veux juste vérifier. Ok? Tu joues de la guitare, n'est-ce pas? Because il y a des signes qui laissent supposer que tu joues de la guitare. Ok? So, you play the guitar, don't you? N'est-ce pas? Next, we got Alison likes tennis. Alison likes tennis. Alison likes tennis. Question tags. Here, again, we cannot see any auxiliary verb. What do? We call again our magic auxiliary, okay? But look at this. Third person singular. I like, you like, he likes. Alison, she likes, okay? So, you have to, when you forming your question tags, you have to bear in mind, il faut se rappeler, d'accorder en fonction du temps, which is present or past, which is troisième personne du singulier, which always take S. I like, you like, he likes, she likes. Okay? Alison, she likes tennis. Okay? Alison likes tennis. Question tag, on mettra I do, you do, she does. Là, on mettra quoi? Doesn't she? Okay? Because it's present any third person singular. Okay? Now, if the verb is in the past simple, okay? If the verb is in the past simple, alors là, c'est un imparfait, ça change tout. The verb is a past simple, virgule, we use, nous utilisons, nous employons, we use, what do we use? We use do at the past, in the past. The past of do is did. So, for example, I would say Alison, not Alison. Oh, right, okay. Example, they went to the cinema. They went to the cinema. Question tag, the past of do is did, on mettra didn't they? Yesterday. They went to the cinema yesterday. Didn't they? I'm almost sure that they went to the cinema because I heard them coming in after midnight. It was late when they came back home. I heard the gate open. I heard the main door opening. Okay, so they came back home late. They went to the cinema. Didn't they? N'est-ce pas? Because je suis presque sûr, je vérifie. Hein. Ils sont allés au cinéma hier soir, n'est-ce pas? Ah, oui, je les ai entendus rentrer tard. Okay? So they went to the cinema. Didn't they? Next, we got, they studied in New Zealand. Okay? She studied. Elle a étudié en Nouvelle-Zélande. Okay? She studied elle a fait ses études en Nouvelle-Zélande. She studied in New Zealand. Ok? Elle a étudié là-bas, elle a fait ses études là-bas. She studied in New Zealand. I don't know if it's Canberra, Adelaide. Okay? She studied in New Zealand. Ah, here as well, We cannot see any auxiliary verb. What do? We use the past of do is did, okay? Didn't. The answer could be, didn't she? Okay? Didn't she? Next. Now, when a statement contains words with a negative answer, negative meaning, tag, okay, needs to be in the past, okay, he hardly, right. Now, when the statement contains a negative word, okay, now we, for example, when the statement, okay, when the statement contains a negative word, a negative word, okay? So when the statement contains a negative word with a negative meaning, contains a word with a negative word with a negative meaning, with a negative meaning, with a, okay, when the statement contains a word, okay, with a negative meaning, so it might not be a negative word, but the word has a negative meaning, a negative connotation, okay? When the statement contains a word with a negative meaning, okay? Meaning, let me write it down here. Mean, what do you mean? Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire? A meaning, une signification, okay? When the statement contains a word with a negative meaning, comma, okay? When the statement contains a word with a negative meaning, okay, the tag needs to be positive, okay? The tag needs to be positive. Let's take an example, okay? He, example, sorry. He, let me put the word in a different color. He hardly speaks. Alors, here, the word hardly means difficilement. C'est quelqu'un qui est très peu loquace. Il ne parle pas beaucoup. He's a quiet person. Okay? He's a quiet person. He hardly speaks. Il y a des gens comme ça. It's a nature. It's a way of being, really. Il y a des gens qui sont très loquaces. Il y en a d'autres qui ne parlent pas beaucoup. C'est une nature. Okay? He hardly speaks. On lui pose des questions, il répond, mais il n'est pas très bavard. Ça arrive. Okay? He hardly speaks. Donc, c'est une connotation un peu négative. C'est-à-dire, il ne parle pas beaucoup. Hein? C'est pas négatif dans le sens psychologique. Hein? C'est juste une façon d'être. He hardly speaks. Ok? Alors, là, vu que c'est une connotation négative, ok, on va remplacer par notre auxiliaire magique, vu que la phrase est au présent simple, ok, on va mettre does He, okay, he hardly speaks, does he? On a fait 1 heure de temps ici, we spent a good couple of hours together. He didn't say much. On a passé 2 bonnes heures, on n'a pas beaucoup entendu. Il parle difficilement, il parle très peu. He hardly speaks. Quand je dis, when I say, for example, I hardly ever go to the cinema, ça veut dire, je vais très rarement au cinéma. I hardly ever do something. I hardly ever go swimming. Je vais rarement à la plage ou à la piscine. Je vais jamais, presque jamais nager. Ok, on verra ça quand on verra les adverbes de fréquence. Adverb of frequency, you know, usually, always, never, often, hardly. Ok, once in a blue moon. Ok, ça ce sont les adverbes de fréquence. À quelle fréquence nous faisons quelque chose? I hardly ever do something. C'est-à-dire, c'est des choses que je fais très rarement. I hardly ever go swimming. Je vais très rarement à nager. Donc, he hardly speaks. Il parle très peu. Il parle difficilement. Il faut lui tirer, il faut le faire parler. Ok? He hardly ever speaks. Does he? They rarely. Okay, another example, they rarely, alors là aussi, let me put un autre mot qui a une connotation négative. Hardly et rarely, rarement, ok? Ça c'est des adverbes de fréquence, ok? These are adverbs of frequency, at which rate you do things, ok? They rarely eat at the restaurant. They rarely eat at the restaurant. Peut-être. Ok? Ils vont rarement manger au resto. Maybe once a year. Maybe twice a year. 2 ou 3 fois par an. Ok? They rarely eat at the restaurant. Some people eat at the restaurant every so often. Every couple of weeks, for example. Or once a month. Ok? So, they rarely eat at the restaurant. Ils vont rarement manger au resto. Ok? Ici, vu que rarely et hardly ont une connotation négative, on utilise un question tag qui est positif. Ok? Qu'est-ce qu'on mettra? They. They rarely eat at the restaurant. Ok? On mettra un question tag positif. I say, do not they, don't. Don't they? Okay? They really eat at the restaurant, don't they? Oh. So, these are then, okay? Now, here positive question tag, a negative question tag equals a negative, right? A positive question tag equal a negative question tag plus. Okay? A positive question tag, okay, requires a negative, okay, statement. A statement, c'est un propos, c'est une déclaration. A statement. Okay? A positive question tag implies a negative statement, or vice versa. Plus a positive question tags. Question tag. Okay, now, we will go to here. Negative statement. Negative statement, okay, and here we got positive tag. Positive tag. Okay? Here we go. Sorry. And we got, you aren't a teacher. Okay? You are not a teacher. You aren't a teacher. Et it's negative. We need a positive. Qu'est-ce qu'on mettra? On mettra are you? Ok? Je suis toujours sorti de l'école, je suppose que si vous êtes là, hein? Ou bien je vous ai sorti de la banque, je vous demande, vous n'êtes pas enseignant, vous sortez de la banque tous les jours. Ok? He isn't crazy. He isn't crazy. Le foot qui est diable. He isn't crazy. Negative, auxiliary, question tag, is he? Okay? Next, he wasn't relaxed. He wasn't relaxed. He wasn't relaxed. Okay? Was he? Okay? They weren't late. They were not. Were not, c'est weren't, contraction. Okay, they weren't late. Were they? Okay? You don't speak English. You don't speak English, do you? You don't. You do not. You don't. Contraction. Okay? You don't speak English. You don't speak English. Do you? Do you? You don't speak English, do you? You didn't study for the test. Tu n'as pas révisé pour ton examen, pour ton test. You didn't study for the test. You didn't study for the test. Did you? Okay. Some more. You haven't been here all week. You haven't been here all week. Vous n'êtes pas venu toute la semaine. You haven't, you have not. You haven't been here all week. Toute la semaine. Vous êtes absenté. You haven't been here all week. Have you? Haven't, have. Okay? Have you? Il y a un auxiliary verb ici. Okay? And you won't fail the exam. Okay? You won't, you will not. Won't est la contraction de will not. Okay? Nous contractons quand nous parlons. You won't fail. To fail, c'est échouer. To pass, c'est passer, obtenir un examen. You pass or you succeed. Okay? You will not fail the exam. Vu que vous avez beaucoup travaillé normalement de l'examen, vous devez pouvoir. You will not fail the exam. La contraction de will not, c'est won't. Okay? Donc, le question tag sera will you? Donc, moi, ça l'a dit. Okay? You couldn't do it for me. You could not. You couldn't. You couldn't do it for me. Could you? Couldn't. Could you? question tag. Okay? Question tag, always, question mark. Another example, we mustn't say anything. Nous ne devons pas parler. We must not. We mustn't say anything. We say anything. Must we? Ok? Et c'est comme ça que ça marche. You wouldn't. You shouldn't be so busy. You should not. You shouldn't. Tu ne devrais pas être aussi occupé. You shouldn't be so busy. Shouldn't. Should you? Okay? You wouldn't stop me. You would not, or you wouldn't stop me. Would you? From conditionnel. Oh, question mark. Always. Okay? You wouldn't stop me, would you? That's it. Okay? So, I think we can go on and on and on and on, but I'm afraid we're going to have to shorten it for a while, okay? So if I recap now, we got a chart here, and we know, okay, that when the statement is in the main sentence is in the present simple, we use do or does. Okay, when we use at the third person present simple, do or does, and when it's the past, we use did. Okay, when there is no auxiliary verb, we use do or did or didn't or does. Okay, when it's a model, the verb defective, we use the modal verb. Okay, can, may, the verb defective. Can, may, might, could, should, would. Ok, on reprend le verbe effectif en sens inverse. Hein, si c'est positif, on met négatif. Si c'est négatif, on met positif. Ok? I mean, this is, okay, overall, now you have a better idea of what we call question tags. Next time, we will explore a bit deeper, we will go a bit deeper, and we have some practice exercises, okay? Until next time, goodbye, boys and girls, gentlemen. Thank you.
Tape www.suividecolosénégal.com. À école